everyone. Welcome to Women in Digital Currency. I'm Lynn Rose, and I play in the world of media and marketing and have been in the entertainment world for a number of years, and now am in the world of digital currency. Today, we are exploring the power of digital currency and women in digital currency, and we have with us Lisa Viori. She's an economics undergrad and has her MBA from Emory in marketing. And get this, she was a monetary policy analyst in the monetary policy department in the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta, and been corporate VP of marketing for a billion-dollar company, and a mom of two. And we also have Kimberly Tilley. And Kimberly has a background in as a medical aesthetics and a laser technician. She's worked with Hollywood elite, and she also happens to be a social media guru on YouTube. And she also is a mom. And we're going to turn it over to our expert on digital currency, Tom McMurran. He's a best-selling author, Amazon best-selling author of Seventh Disruption. And he's the founder of the Coin Lifestyle and New Currency. And our goal is to educate about digital currency in this series. And this segment right now, we're going to explore One Life. So Tom, can you tell us what is One Life?
Well, One Life is a company that is really helping educate people on what digital currency is, how it works, and ultimately what's in it for them. And the goal with One Life, it's a social networking community of individuals that have a desire to learn about the next form of payment. We've seen payments go from gold and silver to checks, where people could write checks against their gold and silver, to becoming dollar bills and things not backed by gold and silver. And of course, we saw credit cards come along. And now we're getting ready to see a new form of payment called digital currency. And many of it's known by the names of Bitcoin, Ethereum, OneCoin, Litecoin. There's a whole bunch of coins that are out there that are coming about. But there's a lot of people that are very interested in learning how they can use this currency that's independent of governments. People are really concerned about debt. I know especially the women that I talk to, debt is an enemy, and it enslaves people to working a life of servitude. And ultimately people, when they're in that situation, they don't get to live their dreams. So One Life is a very inspirational company. It helps people understand how to get their hands on digital currency, how to acquire a currency that can actually increase their wealth passively, meaning they don't have to build a team or anything like that. And, we've seen over 2.6 million people join One Life in the last 24 months. Over 150,000 people a month in 190 different countries are joining it. And we're seeing a very strong contingent of women that are really, really getting excited about digital currency.
Tom, can you talk a little bit about why women are attracted in particular to One Life versus other types of businesses they can get involved in at home, and in terms of why people are interested in One Life and versus other types of digital currency?
Yeah, well, that's a pretty easy question. When you look at One Life is, it's about wealth. It's a product that everybody wants. We see a lot of the home-based business opportunities with makeups and, skin creams and diet shakes and things like that. And that's, those are great businesses, and people, do well in that. But I think people like digital currency because it's a product that everybody needs and everybody wants. And ultimately, there's no auto ship, which is a real big deal. A lot of people get into network marketing opportunities and they get caught, or these home-based business opportunities, and they end up, basically creating another bill that they got to pay off every month until they're up in cash flowing. And so One Life has been very, very popular with women. But I also think women they're a little bit harder to trust when it comes to finances, and so they do a little bit more due diligence. And when they find out why they like it and they really understand it, that they just do better, and they trust each other a little bit more as far as a group. And if they see one woman doing it, they'll say, "Well, I'll look at it." But a lot of women look at digital currency on the outside, and they tend to be intimidated by it. And I know with your financial background, maybe you weren't, but a lot of people look at this and they're very intimidated by it. But after they get in it, they go, wow, that was really easy. I mean, it's easier. I tell people, if you can buy something on Amazon, you've got mad skills. I mean, you're overqualified for this business, but it's exciting. And women understand finance, and they understand the household finances, and they're looking for a way to make it work.
Can you talk a little bit about the system that really helps people get educated and become successful in the business without having to have a huge background in anything economic or finance, or really any sort of really knowledge or
Right.
a lot of women will say, gosh, I don't get the whole finance thing, or I don't get math, whatever, but it doesn't matter. And can you talk about that?
No, I mean, I think that the thing that One Life really strives at, they do have a coin. They have their own digital currency called OneCoin. And then ultimately they have One Academy, which is the educational program. It's a 6-level educational program that really, helps people succeed in this business. And it's really not complicated. I mean, the stuff that we talk about in digital currency is the stuff people are doing every day. We're making payments with each other, and we're exchanging value. And when they get into One Life, they realize it's the same way they're doing business. The only difference is they have a currency that allows them to expand their wealth. I've been working for 30 years. I know most of us have, and I've seen my currency depreciate by 40% over the last 30 years. And women see that more than men do, because they're doing a lot of the grocery shopping, and that's why milk has gone from $1.90 to $3.80. It's not because milk has gotten more expensive. It's because the currency that you're using to buy it has decreased in value. And I think that's another reason women are excited about this, because they understand the price of groceries more so than men do. And when they realize it's not really called inflation, it's called depreciation of their currency, that they get really excited about what we're doing.
I think I'm just going to jump in here, but I think women tend to be trailblazers. We are fiercely fighting for the young, as a mom. And women have had to fight hard to be able to get to vote back in the day, and having to carry a family but also carry jobs. And so I kind of love the story of OneCoin and its rise and how broad it's reached, and now being number one digital currency in the world. Can you address the power of OneCoin in regards to digital currency as a whole with One Life?
Yeah, I mean, you bring up a great point. And women are also just natural networkers. They network really well, and when they like something, they tell everybody about it. I don't know if you've ever bought a great pair of shoes that you really like, but you might have told a few people about it. And with OneCoin, they do have the ability to for each of you to share it with other people and create wealth doing that. But I think that's been one of the reasons for OneCoin's stratospheric rise to being one of the top 0.5% websites in the world, with the number of members they have, fastest company in the world to do $1 billion in revenue. But it will be, I believe it'll be driven by women, because they are natural networkers. They are pioneers. And like I say, I think it's because they understand what's going on in the household and the price of the goods. They see that every day, and they know it's going up in price, but maybe they don't know why. And when they get some simple financial education, lights go off, and they go, oh my goodness, I think, I've just found something great that's going to help my family. So, but yeah, definitely, OneCoin is something that is it's all over the world. It's amazing to go to these conferences and see the amount of money that these women are making, and they're very excited about it, because everybody wants more wealth.
Absolutely. I agree. And with that, Tom, I would like to ask, what can you do with OneCoin or digital currency? What can you purchase? How can you grow your portfolio? Are you able to purchase product? What can you do with OneCoin or digital currency?
That's a great question, Kim. Digital currency, depending on the stage of the digital currency, like Bitcoin was early on, it's 7 years old, pretty mature currency. In Bitcoin, you have the ability to spend it over like 400,000 or 500,000 locations around the world. There's a great website called Gift where you can buy gift cards. Like I had somebody pay me in Bitcoin, and I went to Gift, and I actually bought Nike cards 20% off. I'm able to buy my Starbucks points 10% off using Bitcoin. So I'm actually saving money. It's almost a coupon in a way for what we're doing. But it's a little extra step. But at the end of the day, an extra 10% here and 20% there definitely adds up, especially if you have a $100 a month coffee habit like some people do. So, but as far as OneCoin, it's very early stage, and a lot of women that are getting into it recognize that they're able to get the currency at a discount. They're able to get the currency on sale right now because they're early stage. They're in it at the very beginning, and that's where the big wealth is really created. And in January, they're going to launch the merchant program, where merchants around the world are going to start signing up, and they're going to start accepting OneCoin as a currency. So it's January of 2017. And so where it just did, when a new digital currency comes out, it comes out in phases, and we're in a very early phase with One Life, and a lot of women are attracted to it because they're getting $8 bills for $1. You know, I don't know, like, we know we like getting things on sale, but getting $10 bills for $1 is always something that perks my interest. But I think that people will really see OneCoin as a very early stage. And Bitcoin, when it was early stage, you could also get the currency at a very good discount. I mean, at Bitcoin, if you'd have put $1,000 in at the very beginning, it would have turned into over $12 million. And I know $12 million would change a lot of people's lives. And but yeah, it's you will be able to spend it. And one thing I will say about digital currency, the experts are saying that we'll have full adoption by 2026. Less than 10 years, the majority of people around the world will be using digital currency. So it's not a matter of if you're going to use it, it's a matter of when. And I will say that, you know, when I got into the internet in the 90s, I was able to profit from it because I was in it at the very beginning. And I have a lot of late adopter friends who waited because they were intimidated by it. And they got in after 2000, and they ended up paying out the nose for internet services. And so depending on when you get in, determines on the opportunities. And digital currency, it's better to get in the very beginning and participate in the acquisition of the currency as much as you can. And then ultimately, when it goes public, your buying power increases and your wealth increases. So hope that answers your question.
It does. Thank you, Tom.
Can you address, because of this extraordinary timing, but also what's going on in our world and economically, why it's so important to get invested into digital currency? You and I were at an event that consisted of billionaires and business moguls, and one in particular is the fifth smartest man in the world. And it kept coming up about digital currency throughout this event. This gentleman said he felt that smart investors should be putting 10% of their investments into digital currency. And we know many great investors who are investing billions in digital currency and pointing the way. Why do you think that's just so important as an investment, certainly at this extraordinary time?
Well, I think every portfolio has a certain element of it that should have an element for hedge. And that hedge is usually your highest risk, highest return part of your portfolio. And, depending on people's risk appetite, it could be 2% or 5% or 10%. And that also depends on your age and ultimately what makes your palms sweat or what keeps you up at night. If it does that, it's too much. But ultimately, I think that, digital currency is one of those things that it's like, why should I invest in Amazon and YouTube and in some of these tech companies early on? Most people weren't putting 80% of their portfolio in those tech companies. The people who did obviously did very well, but it's just a hedge. It's just saying, hey, the currency, your choices, the dollar is guaranteed to depreciate. And I'll leave you with this, that over in the next 11 years, all the baby boomers will be on the government payroll. And we can't afford the people that we have on there right now, but 76 million people will be on the payroll. And I read an article in Zero Hedge, and it talked about how they're going to have to issue 15 trillion more in debt just to absorb that economic impact on the government. And that means that your dollar is going to drop from 7 cents in value, which is the real value of the US dollar, 7 cents. It'll drop down to about 4 cents. Now, y'all won't see that because they won't reprint the number on the bill. Okay? What you're going to do is you're going to see milk's going to be $7 to $8 a gallon. That's what you're going to see. And that's when people understand that. Don't be sold on the idea of inflation. Understand the depreciation of your money that you're using to buy your products. Don't blame it on the milk producers. They're not raising the price. The government is decreasing the value of your dollar. And that's why people should be in digital currency. And it's that simple understanding about milk that every woman I know understands, and seeing the price of milk skyrocket like it has. And it's not the price of milk. It's the value of your dollar. You all are working harder for less. We all are. And in every country, as a matter of fact. And so I think that's what One Life brings to the table, is a financial education. And I think all of you will agree that a financial education, if you're going to become a millionaire or you're going to become financially independent, don't you think you should have a financial education? And of course, that's what One Life is providing. And that's why I'm excited about the company.
No, that's so exciting. We thank you so much for sharing this with us and for our panelists. And we are going to continue with this series. So you want to go to the next in the series where we're going to talk about blockchain. Blockchain is changing everything. So you've got to tune in to see about it, to understand why blockchain makes currency such a strong and impenetrable choice. So definitely tune in to our next series on blockchain. This is Lynn Rose and Tom McMurran and Lisa Vivori and Kimberly Tilley with Women in Digital Currency. We'll see you at the next series.